my brother, he was diagnosed with ADD. Around that time, we had been noticing like his behavior being like a little bit more than, well, in my culture, like people think boys like, oh, will be just boys, or like they're rowdy, they're
Okay.
like certain like things that they just place on boys as like their stereotype. So we had always brushed it off. Like he was really like active. He like as he grew older, it started manifesting in different ways. But he was like not wanting to do homework, like things like that. That like my parents were like, oh, like it's just a
Okay,
boy thing.
so what I'm hearing you say is that you guys started realizing that your brother was acting a little different, but based upon your culture, boys will be boys, so you never really thought of anything differently.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at first we brushed it off, but it started getting to the point that we're like, okay, this is different behavior.
I see.
So like around that time, I was also graduating from high school, and I was gonna go to UC Davis. So it's like up in Sacramento, and I was gonna leave, and certain like things happened like with my financial aid that like I didn't end up affording it. So I ended up like having to make the decision, like should I go and like pay loans or like stay back. And like a little bit about me, like I'm the type that like I really just like, if I set a goal like in my head, like I'm gonna like try to like accomplish it. So all of high school, like it was my goal, like I'm gonna go to like a university, like.
Okay, so you were already set on your future.
Yeah, like I'm like the oldest, I've always been like the one that like I need to do this so that everyone else can like follow along. So I was like, I need to do this.
So you felt like you
Yeah.
needed to set an example?
Yeah, so around that time, when I was in high school, like I was the oldest, but I also didn't have the responsibility of my siblings because my mom was a stay-at-home mom my years throughout high school. So I had like the privilege of just like focusing on myself. Like I tried to do like everything I could to be like in sports and clubs, because in my head I was like, I'm gonna move out. Not like I was fleeing from something. It was like it's just not like something common for people from like my area, like my socioeconomic background, like to be able to leave. Like it was like,
Yeah. So you felt like there was things based on where you lived and based on your environment that were meant to hold you back, but you were destined to break that stigma.
yeah, like I felt like I needed to be the one to break through to like help my like siblings and also like my friends. Like they were like, wow, like it motivated them to like also want to. So like we were all just motivating each other. So like I felt like a kind of like, not a pressure, but like an obligation almost that I had to leave.
Okay.
So all that was happening, and then senior year, like I said, like I did end up going. When I finally graduate, like I like started working at McDonald's, and like I had to enroll into a community college because I didn't enroll at Cal State San Bernardino because I thought like I'm leaving. Like there was no like backup plan for me. Like it was just in my head. Like
so you had to make planning work.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
So I was working at McDonald's, and I was going to San Bernardino Valley College at the time, and at the time, now that I look back, I'm like, going to community college was like literally the best decision I've ever made. But at the time, because in high school they do place a stigma on like going to community college, it's never like, oh you guys should go save money. Like that was never like anything I heard. It was just like people that go there won't get out. Like that was always
So let me
thinking.
stop you right there, because you're mentioning that when you first made the decision you were doubting yourself, but now that you are far in it and when you look back, do you praise yourself for making that choice?
Yeah, it's honestly like something I'm really like proud that I did end up going, because like I think that set another like option for like my siblings as well, because now my sister, like, she's like, oh, I'm gonna go to community college, save money. Like, it gave another option that when I was in high school, I just saw like I need to go to like a UC or I'm done. Like I'm a failure.
I understand.
Yeah, so that's how I felt at like the time when I was working at McDonald's and all that. Like, I was like, what am I doing? Like, it just, all the stigma that was around those two things, like working at fast food, like it like made me feel like, what are you doing with your life? Like, and I was just in high school. So.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing you say is that there was a lot of stress happening, and especially involving that with trying to make life decisions. It became a little difficult for you?
Yeah, like...
A little overwhelming?
Yeah, I felt like, where did I go from here? Like, so around that time, my mom got a job. So she started working somewhere where her hours were like from really early to like the afternoon. So I was the one that was like taking care of my siblings most of the day. My sister, she was a bit older, so she like kind of took care of herself, but it was mostly me and my brother. Like, I had to make sure he was like on top of his homework, on top of everything. And I think because I was so like involved in my own goals in high school, I kind of didn't notice that the things that were affecting my brother and like my mom, I guess, like they were both like he had things going on through his ADD, and then my mom also as the one that took care of him. Like,
so it seems like you were busy with figuring out your life, that now that you started taking care of your brother, you're starting to notice issues that you didn't pay attention before. Does that sound right?
Yeah, like that's when I really started to become like more observant, because like schoolwork, like it was manageable, and I wasn't like really involved at first, like at Valley, because I saw like, oh, I just want to go to school, leave, like that was like my thing. And so I was just at home taking care of my brother, and I got to like be able to see like that he had problems, like he didn't want to do his chores, like he didn't want to do homework, he didn't want to do like certain things. And like how I had told you before, I'm really that person that like, if I have a goal, like I'm gonna do it. And my goal was like, I'm gonna help my mom, like make sure that the house is clean when she comes, make sure that like everything is like in my head like perfect for when she came.
Okay, so now what I'm hearing you say is that now you felt like you needed to take that challenge on and put it under your belt.
Yeah, like I really felt like, as I guess I just put roles on myself, like I'm the older sister, like, so I just wanted
business and did his own thing, you know. And then when growing up, he was always working, and so I was really, you know, when I was little, like I kind of like did my own thing, and he did his own thing, and then we would like meet up and we're like family stuff, you know. So like, I mean, I kind of like felt like I wished he would have like, I mean, I know that's his wife, but I kind of wish that he would like maybe have my back a little bit, which he didn't. And I mean, now that I look back, I don't really needed him to have my back, because I mean my sisters were there. But now when he would come over and everything, I think that was like the most hurtful part, because like I'm like, what did I do? Like I didn't go up to her, like I didn't, you know, like I didn't even initiate this, you know, like it was all her.
So it hurt you that your brother didn't see your point, and invalidated what you were feeling at the time.
Yeah, he definitely didn't. He didn't want to hear me. Yeah, he didn't even want to like talk to me. He didn't even understand where I was coming from or nothing. And when, you know, those months went by when she was all pregnant and stuff, and I still didn't care. Like it wasn't until her baby shower, honestly. The moment I walked in her baby shower, I thought to myself, and I was like, okay, do I want to be in my nephew's life? Of course. So obviously she's not wanting to acknowledge her wrongs. And I mean, maybe I'm stubborn. I don't want to say sorry either. So what we're gonna do, what we're best at doing is like brushing it under the rug. So I walked in and then I gave her a hug, and that was like the first physical or like any interaction that we've had since like the wedding. And I think that kind of like made it known that it's like squashed.
So it seemed like the thought of being in your nephew's life, it was strong enough for you to want to maybe not move on, but push it aside in order to be in good terms with it.
Yeah, I like how I really like how you said not move on, because it's definitely something that still haunts me like to this day, and I definitely put it in the back burner because I just wanted to be there. Like I want them to want me to be there. Like I want them to allow me to see him, you know, because being an aunt is like one of the greatest things ever. You know, I do better with other kids, other people's babies, you know. But so I just really felt like that was something special, and I felt like I had to do what I can from my side to make her feel, because like she had all the power, you know. She has my brother, she has the kid, like, and it kills me because I feel like I've never really got the closure that I needed. Like I never got to sit down and be like, girl, you tried kicking me out.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then she'll come over, and I mean now she'll come over and be like, hey, like, what's up? But I think that like that little moment has always like has been like what I've always reverted to when other issues occur
Because
relating to her.
you used earlier the word haunt. So is it something that comes back, like how you said, like when you guys have an issue, it's just always in the back of your head, still like a shadow or like something?
Yes, it's something that I think I'll never forget because we've never talked about it. Yeah, I feel like if we were to really have like that conversation, I would be totally okay with it. But like I said, like I'm very like open. Like I need to talk through things. I need you to express what you think you did wrong, and I'll let you know what I think was wrong, and then we could move on. But with her and him, because it's both of them now. Because back then it was my issue with her, but now like moving in forward, it's been both of them. They're just very not willing to talk about it. Like it's kind of like weird because other issues have happened, you know, dumb issues. I mean, I wouldn't say dumb because obviously like it's like hurting me, you know.
Yeah.
Like for instance, my brother lives really close by from my house down the street actually, and we've never set foot in his house. Like none of us, none of my mother or my dad or me or my sisters, you know, and that's a little like weird, you know. And
That must be really hard for you and all of your family to not have that open communication or open doors even.
it's definitely something that we've learned to cope with because it does hurt us, but then again, when they come over, we don't talk about it. It's like it's so weird. Like it's like okay, you know. But then they'll come over and then they'll hang out, and my brother and my sister-in-law will say like certain comments like, oh, you know, you guys don't look for us. I'm like, bro, you don't invite none of us to your house. And that house used to be our house. It used to be like mine's and my family's, and it has a pool. So that's where we got it when we moved over here. So then when we thought, oh, let's give it to not give it, but my brother's gonna stay there and like live there. It's still gonna be in the family.
Yeah.
So summers at Danny's, you know.
Yeah.
But no, it was like completely like I honestly have never stepped foot in there since moving out, and he's been living there for like 6 years, and it's just weird, you know. And then we was it's really hurtful too because my brother, my friend lives right in front of him. So when I would be at my friend's house, I would see her family in there and in the pool and like in the house. So it makes me think, what's the difference between her family and us.
Yeah, it's hurtful that your family hasn't been there in so long, but when you saw her family, it made you feel hurt that you aren't able to have those same abilities and access as they are.
Yeah, like exactly, because it's very hurtful. Like even and again, it's something that we don't talk about. Yeah,
Unspoken.
it's the unspoken, and I don't know what people are so afraid, or my family is so afraid. Well, I think I kind of do, because like he has 2 kids now, Jaden and Danny Jr. And my brother and his wife are the type of people that they will pull back away from us if we try to put them in their place or challenge them. So I feel like instead of trying to talk to them as a family and a problem, we don't talk about it, because we don't want to upset them. You know, we don't want them to go somewhere, or we don't want them to stop, to like disconnect from us.
So you're afraid that if you were to voice what is the issue or what's affecting you, that they would drift away.
Yeah.